Okay, welcome back to China Catch Wrestling channel. So today we're learning arm drags, and specifically we're learning arm drags on the floor. So let me just show you what is an arm drag. Arm drag is whenever I catch his arm, catch behind the bicep or tricep area, and I'll use my body weight and my leg to kind of like pull him forward so that I make his back. Right? It's the standing position. It oftentimes when he grabs my hand, he grabs one hand like this. I'm gonna wrist release, same time grab his bicep, same time block that leg, same time lean back, all at the same time, boom, and I get it. So that's the arm drag standing, and there's a lot of variations where you swipe and you get it, right? You arm bar him and you get it. A lot of different variations. However, for today's purposes, we're going to go on the ground and do the same thing. So a lot of times you're here in a submission wrestling match. You might be here. First of all, let me just tell you, this is not an MMA position. You don't want to do this in a street fighting. This is strictly submission wrestling, right? So we're here, and a lot of time he wants to pass the guard, and I'm kind of like seated position, seated guard. I don't want to go on my back yet. I'm here to attack his legs. And a lot of time what he does is he doesn't want me to swivel underneath him, so he's gonna sit down and control my legs, drop on his knees like that, right? So now he's heavy, now it's very difficult for me to like go underneath him, butterfly lift and everything. So one of the good techniques from here is an arm drag. And it's a little bit more powerful than standing, because now I'm not just using my body weight, but I'm also using my legs to push, right? So body weight and leg. So I'm gonna choose one arm, for example, this far side arm. I'm gonna go behind the crook of the elbow, like behind this. So this is the elbow joint. I'm gonna go just above that. So I'm gonna go monkey grip, boom, boom, like a double collar tie, and just gonna lean back while I'm pushing off my leg. Now I'm gonna do it very slow because it's hurting him, but it basically looks like this. That's what he's gonna get a slight arm bar while I'm doing this. That's why I do it very slow. And then once it's here, he wants to stand back up. He wants to sit back up, and if I don't do anything, he's just gonna sit back up, get that underhook, and start passing. So my job is to, after I get him dropped down here, is that hold this. So when he wants to stand up, go ahead, stand up. I'm holding this bicep, go ahead, sit up. It's very difficult for him because I'm holding this. I'm also pushing off my legs, so I'm holding him. And the more he tries to sit up, the more he's helping me to get up here, behind his elbow. Once I'm behind his elbow, even without my arm, that elbow cannot move. Camera can come here, right? Even without arm, that elbow cannot come out. So it cannot, because there's no gap between us. But obviously, I want to keep my arm as much as possible, put pressure on that elbow. Preferably, if I can do this, that's great. If I can use my elbow to kind of like top wrist lock him, that would be great. But if not, it's okay. Just make sure there's no gap here. Now you grab a lat or a hip. The camera can come on this side. So I'm gonna grab his lat or a hip, preferably a hip. Use my left leg to shrimp, boom. So I create this gap so that I can pull him into this gap. Once I'm in that gap, I'll start putting my hooks in and start attacking. Palm over the hand out, and finish. Right? So I'll do it a little bit faster. Try to keep your hand as long as possible there so the camera looks realistic. So he's here, I'm gonna go cross side and double it up, right? I'm gonna go on top of each other. I can go like this as well, but I find it much more effective when you're just above that elbow joint, double pressure. And now I just lean back, and he's coming not because of my body weight and my leg pressure necessarily, he's coming because he's hurting here, right? It's a slight arm bar. So I'm boom, he's an arm bar, he falls on his back. Now he doesn't like to stand here, he wants to immediately pull back, and he helps me to get up. Once he's get up, my leg is already in place. So when I get my lap, this leg already pushing my butt backwards, pull him, and we'll end up in a perfect position for a finish. Right? So that's the arm drag variation of basically this one, where I'm holding his wrist, holding the elbow, and I'm arm barring him towards me, right? So not the traditional freestyle where I move behind him, right? It's the catch wrestling variation where I'm pushing this elbow and he comes towards me and I'll catch it. That's basically what I do on the ground. So down here, and he comes towards me. And then I move away, start working on his back. Now, that works for seated guards, but personally I don't like to play seated guard too much. I'm always playing here because I like for street fighting, practicing for street fighting as well for MMA, so you want to be able to protect your head, hands up, and be kicking, and also be able to get up at any moment's notice. So I like to play this much more often, and what often happens is that they leg weave you, so leg lace. Boom, go ahead. He weaves that arm across and gets both my legs like this. Very common with freestyle wrestlers. They leg weave you like this, and they want to go past. He wants to put his head in, grab my head, right? So grabs my head like this, moves all the way to the side, and now he puts his knee in, and he starts like, okay, pass my guard, right? All the way, like to pass my guard, right? So that's what he wants to do. Now, as soon as I feel that, I'm gonna do the same arm drag. So he leg weaves, boom, and he goes, and he's, first things first, I don't want his head to be in this position. When his head is in this position, it's gonna bother my movement a lot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna double my hand and just push his head away. Once his head is away, he can't effectively turn the corner on me. He can't walk across. So once he's here, and have like this straight arm, stiff arm, I can now shrimp out, boom. And once I shrimp out, I'm gonna bring this knee down heavy on that hand. Okay, now if Sibo tries to take his arm out, go ahead, take your arm out, it's gonna be like that. That's the motion he wants to do. So he has to pull it backwards. He can't pull it forward. So once he's there, now I'm gonna go up and grab. Okay, so in order for him to take his arm out, he has to go this way. So once I grab behind it, he can't really pull that arm out effectively. Now I'm gonna do the same sit. And now it looks kind of funny, looks kind of like he's letting me do it, but actually this is not an arm bar, but this is also a short arm scissor. My shin is pressed against his bicep and it's hurting him a lot. So when I go like this, that's hurting him, that's why he lets go. He lets go because he's hurt, and then I go all the way, and again, same thing. He doesn't want to let me go. Go ahead, sit up, don't let me come. So I go, make some space, pull him, and then finish. Right? So the first variation is an arm bar variation. This one is a short arm scissor. So I'm cutting through his arm with my shin here. So one more time. So I go here. I might be like knee shielding him here, and he immediately go for a leg weave bend. He puts his head in. I start pushing his head away, shrimp out, bring my leg across, and grab behind that bicep. Once I grab, you can even sit up. Once I grab, it doesn't matter. The only thing I need to do is twist my leg this way, so that that shin bone is looking directly to his bicep. So not this way, but this way. That's why I want to put this knee down, so that the shin bone is looking. And now the only thing I need to do is pull and push. I'm pulling with my arms, pushing with my leg, and that's hurting him. That's why he's coming towards me. It's hurting him. And I kick all the way across behind his head. Once my leg is on the ground, I can use this leg and his body weight to kind of sit up and start working behind him. I might go for a spiral ride and then break him down. Or I might just from here make some space and break him down, depending on his balance. If his balance is really good, I might not be able to break him down from here, so I might need to be going all the way to spiral ride. And then once the spiral ride, we can go to, our basic spiral ride, grab, turn, squeeze, and then go to a leg turk position here. So I have my leg turk, I have my wrist ride, and easy domination. And if you need submission, the submission is here. Hammer on. Right? So 2 variations, same arm drag, however, different results. The first one is an arm bar, the second one is a short arm scissor. And both of them, you end up taking the back as well. Okay.